Hello guys, and welcome to the final part of my Alonso career mode from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where Fernando Alonso will hopefully, finally, become a triple world champion.
Welcome to Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, where the temperatures and humidity are high and conditions will be tough for the drivers. It's been a long year, but a really exciting one for the fans, the drivers, and of course the teams. What are we expecting from today's practice session?
The Drivers' Championship is still to be decided, so the drivers in the hunt know it's all to play for. Especially with the last race being double points, it has the potential of really changing both sets of standings.
How important is it for mechanics to keep their cool this weekend, not just the drivers? Imagine working on those cars this weekend.
Remember, once these cars are done being worked on tonight, there'll be the race cars come Sunday as well. So the preparations the mechanics are doing now are paramount.
And, of course, for the final time this season, we will retire from qualifying to start from 22nd on the grid.
Welcome to Yas Marina Circuit for this day and tonight race. The teams are done putting the finishing touches to the cars. It's time now for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Pole position can only be secured by one driver, and the lucky gentleman goes by the name of Nico Rosberg this weekend. You wouldn't bet against the German driver pressing his Mercedes to victory today.
It really was a great performance from him yesterday, and I think he'll be feeling very confident that he can push on and win today's race. Unless he has car trouble or a bit of bad luck, he should be untouchable.
No less than 27 Drivers' Championships have been settled in the last race of the season. So who's going to have the edge going into this all-important title decider?
I think Fernando is the man for this situation. He's so calculating and always gets the very best out of his car. He knows how to win championships, and I believe he's got the car to do it again this year.
So, here we are for the final race of the season. We've got 5 lights, lights out, and away we don't go. As usual, we wait 10 seconds before we eventually set off ourselves in pursuit of glory. And at the end of the first lap, we are under a second now behind Kamui Kobayashi in the Caterham, and we are going to dispose of him almost immediately, going round the outside of the Japanese driver. And now, a few seconds later, we are going to attempt to overtake the other Caterham of Marcus Ericsson. Very risky move there, especially against a prick like Ericsson, but he pulls it off. And now we've got the two Marushas and Sutil in the Sauber to deal with. We're going to overtake all 3 of them with relative ease. Up to P17 we go now. And at the start of lap 3, we are trying to overtake Romain Grosjean into turn 1 for P16. Job done. And now we have the other Lotus of Pastor Maldonado to deal with. We go round the outside of him and up into P15. Next target, Esteban Gutierrez. And are we going to try and do the same move as we did the previous lap on Ericsson perhaps? He goes for it. Goes a little bit wide, but he does get the move done. And then 1 lap later, we're going to do the same move again, this time on Jean-Eric Vergne for P13. And now, 1 DRS straight later, we are going to try and overtake his teammate Kvyat for P12. And maybe even Magnussen, braking very late there. And Magnussen, credit to him, he gave us plenty of respect there. So P11 now, which will soon become P10, because once again, I think the 4th lap in succession, we get moved done at the hairpin for P10. And now, again, on the next DRS straight, we're going to overtake Hulkenberg for P9. And 1 lap later, we do the same move again, this time on Jenson Button for P8. Slight contact there, I think, on the straight, but that doesn't affect us. And we're up to P8 now, which becomes P6 as a few more drivers make their first stop. And yeah, P3 now, lap 8, and then lap 9 we're up to 2nd with Daniel Ricciardo, the only other car who is yet to make his first stop. However, we do get passed by Lewis Hamilton, and we're going to try and hopefully keep up with him on the DRS straight, but we made contact with him there and he was gone. So at the end of lap 9, we are going to make our first stop of the race, put on another set of option tyres. And we have closed up quite quickly on Ricciardo. We're hopefully going to take care of him almost immediately. And we get the move done at the hairpin once again. Up to P7 we go. And we set the fastest lap there to demonstrate how much pace we have in this race. And now, for P6, we're going to overtake our teammate Kimi Räikkönen, who gives us plenty of room there. And now we're going to overtake his fellow Finn, Bottas, for P5 at the end of the DRS straight. Up to P5 we go now. And I think we have Hamilton making his second stop at the end of lap 13, so we are back ahead of him for the time being. And then one lap later we have the other Mercedes of Rosberg coming in. And then at the end of the DRS straight on lap 16, we overtake Vettel to lead the race for the first time tonight. And at the start of lap 17 we can see Hamilton now attempting to get past the German driver as well. And he goes around the outside at turn 1, so it looks as though our lead is going to be short-lived as Hamilton just breezes past us on the first DRS straight. But hopefully, if we can keep up with him through these two corners, we can hopefully re-overtake him at the end of the second DRS straight. We're going to dive bomb the Mercedes driver, and it looks as though we have pulled it off, so this will definitely compromise his strategy and play to our advantage. And he tries to go around the outside of turn 1, but we're having none of that, and Rosberg has overtaken his teammate. But we get a poor exit out of the hairpin, and that gives Rosberg the chance to overtake us, which he does so. And now we're coming under attack from Lewis Hamilton, but we're going to try and outbrake both of them, and it's 3 wide. How are we going to get through this without any contact? It looks as though we may have done, and yes we have. Nico Rosberg has to take avoided action in the end, and it looks as though Lewis Hamilton may come out of this in P1 once again. Can we outbrake him again? No, not this time. So now at the end of lap 18 we're going to make our second and final stop of this season, putting on a set of prime tyres. So where is this going to bring us out? We're going to come out very close, I think, with our teammate Kimi Räikkönen, and we slot out just in front of him. And originally I thought, he's going to be our rear gunner here, but instead he decides to try and overtake us at the end of the DRS straight. But we're having none of that. We are not going to let our prick teammate ruin our chances of winning this championship. And then just a little later on, as we saw there, Perez and Bottas had it coming together, so that was 2 free positions for us. And with Hamilton making his final stop at the end of lap 21, I think.
Don't worry if the car behind tries to overtake you, he has a time penalty.
And that could be what costs Lewis the chance to win a second Drivers' Championship for himself. I assume this is going to be the replay that explains why he has a penalty. We saw him overtake Felipe Massa without any difficulty, but he's got the 2 back markers battling ahead of him, the Marussia and Sauber. So what happens here? I think he makes contact with the Sauber, and then the Marussia spins out in front of him, so I'm guessing the penalty was by colliding with the Sauber there. So a bit of a mess there, but thankfully Lord Sutil has done us a massive favour there, and we've only got 1 more lap to go now to win a 3rd driver's title for Fernando Alonso. But Hamilton, he's still going to try and somehow win this race by overtaking us and then trying to pull out a 5-second lead in just 1.5 sectors, but Alonso is not going to have any of that crap from the British driver. And with DRS we're going to overtake him again. Lewis tries to squeeze us out, but again we're not taking any of his shit, and we go back up to P1. Just 1 more sector to go now, and Alonso can celebrate becoming a triple world champion. We got just 2 more corners to go now. 1 more corner to go now. Don't mess it up now, Alonso. He does not mess it up, and he crosses the line to become a triple world champion. So, confirmation of the result. We take the victory in the final race of the season, and with it, the 2014 Drivers' Championship, ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And as we look at the final standings, we end up scoring 405 points, with Lewis Hamilton 28 points behind, and Nico Rosberg a whole 100 points behind us. And in the Constructors' Championship, we do finish second, of course. Mercedes running away with that championship quite convincingly there. As we look at our stats against our teammate, of course we were out-qualified 19 times, but in the races we beat him 19 times. Utter domination from Alonso there. But thank you for watching this entire series, and see you next time.